Hi there, Sagittarius, and welcome to your September astrology forecast. The sun is in Virgo for most of the month, shining a bright light on your career. This energy is blessing Saturn, Jupiter, your ruler, and Pluto, all in your money sector, which means you may see a new career opportunity or advancement this month and the upcoming months, which is glorious. Nevertheless, the Virgo energy will square your sign and oppose Neptune in your family sector, which could lead to a feeling that you aren't quite getting everything balanced, not the way that you'd hoped. But be gentle with yourself, you are doing your best. The full moon in your sector of home and family could lead to changes in a living situation or shining a light on something that needs to be seen. But it should be positive due to the harmony of Uranus in Taurus, sextiling the full moon and trining the sun. You may experience a pleasant surprise in a key bond in your life. Now here's the great news. Your ruler Jupiter goes direct. Yay! It goes direct on the 12th of September, and you should start to feel more optimistic about the future and what possibilities lie ahead, especially in any issues surrounding stability and material things. And you may notice a confidence boost as well. Look especially to the 10th of September for the Sun-Jupiter trine, which blesses your career. Maybe something to put in the diary? On the 17th, the new moon in Virgo is the perfect time to set new intentions for career and work prospects. Around this time, though, Mercury is in Libra squaring your ruler Jupiter, so be careful of taking advice from friends who mean well. Never take advice from someone you wouldn't trade places with, and chances are your communication could be a bit muddled around this time anyway. Now on to love, and Mars begins its retrograde saga in Aries on the 9th of September, and this sector of love, creativity and passion is getting some rather tough knocks from the outer planets, and you may notice how old standing insecurities are interfering with your ability to be open and loving. Perhaps you don't feel good enough, or you have some old wounds left by an ex that took you for granted. Either way, it is the time to challenge any old and unhelpful beliefs that are getting in the way of your happiness, Sagittarius. Visit old ways of having fun. What excited you as a child? Life, as you know, does not have to be so serious all the time. Maybe make an old school playlist, and if ex-lovers do resurface, make sure they're capable of actually offering something. Whatever does happen, Sagittarius, always make sure to choose you. So that is your astrology for the month of September. We will get more into it in the mid-monthlies as well, but for now, if you want to continue with the tarot reading, just stay tuned. Have a wonderful month, Sagittarius. Bye. Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your September tarot scope. I hope you're all doing very well. So Sagittarius, let's have a little look at your cards and see what's coming up for you in the month of September, which is Virgo season. So I've already drawn your oracle cards off screen. King of Cups. Interesting start. I also have a bit of an autumnal fall theme going on here. It wasn't actually intentional. Ooh. The Strength and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, Sagittarius, we already have two major arcana so far and a court card. So, big energy if you are involved with a water sign, Sun, Moon, or Rising, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. For some of you, this could represent a relationship that dawned in Leo season. So, King of Cups, Strength, and the Wheel of Fortune. In many instances, Sagittarius, you could be going through a challenging time in your emotional life, a time that is requiring you to be very strong, to be very patient, to be very loving, protective, and find security for the people in your life, it seems. With the King of Cups, the Strength card, as a combination, I feel that you've had to really be a sense of support for a lot of people around you. Maybe particularly the water signs, but the way I'm seeing this is that it is possible that you emotionally are realizing your own fortitude. And Leo season has in some way, as we've left a turning point in your life. It has created a deep change, whether you feel it or not. Your ruler Jupiter is going direct, and this will benefit you greatly. It is, of course, in your second house of finances, but it's also the house that represents worth. So for a lot of you, you may be realizing in your strength, in your fortitude, that you have a lot more value than you understood previously. 6 of Cups. Okay, so we talked in the astrology about Mars being retrograde and how it could signify some people from the past. Hermit. Re-emerging, and the moon. Okay, so that new moon in Virgo right here, Virgo moon. So that's interesting for you, Sagittarius. So there is a really interesting turning point. A bit of a portal seems to have opened to the past in some way. Now, how that is going to play out exactly will depend on you individually, but there does seem to be some clue in the past of where you need to go. With the 6 of Cups and the Hermit, I feel that a bond that has lost a lot of contact for a long time, and it doesn't have to be romantic, but a relationship that for some reason has not had much in the form of verbal conversation is the way that I would put that. And that's quite general. That's quite broad. But a relationship that has not had much conversation is in some way appearing here. I think for a lot of you, it could be family. Or I think for a lot of you, there could have been secrets surrounding the family that are starting to be unearthed and are requiring you to be a supporting role in some cases. For a lot of you, the Hermit and the Moon is this very thoughtful energy. The full moon in Pisces is, of course, your 4th house of security, of home, of your relationships with women, and these are in many ways illuminated. But I'm drawn, Sagittarius, to the new moon in Virgo when I see this, and I think about Saturn supporting this new moon, and it's really giving you a bit of a heads up that in some way a new beginning has a link to the past. Perhaps it's that you are, for example, you start a job and you meet someone that you used to work with years ago, and they end up being a key figure now when they were not before. Or you reconnect with somebody that you know from the past, and they end up being more significant, is one way that I try to see this. With the 6 of Cups and the Hermit, you've been thinking a lot about the past, or you are going to with Mars being retrograde, and that makes sense. It's in your 5th house, which can be a lot to do with childhood, and with the full moon in the 4th as well. Your childhood is kind of illuminated and reflected here with the 6 of Cups and the Hermit. So I feel that there is a lot of resonance to people from the past, to experiences in the past, and the new moon in Virgo is going to be very significant for you. Now, the 4 of Swords is suggesting with that 4th house in Pisces is that, Sagittarius, you need to be resting. Queen of Cups. So the water signs are really showing up in your reading for some reason. Beautiful. Page of Cups. Okay. And the 3 of Pentacles underneath. So let us move these back a little bit so that you can completely see what we are dealing with. Okay. There's a lot of emotions coming up, and I think it's Virgo season in general for you, but that Pisces full moon is telling. So the moons are affecting you a lot, and that makes sense, being that they're occurring in your 4th house and your 10th, which is much to do with your security in this life. So you could feel a little bit rattled at times as the energy starts to shift. But with the Strength card and the Wheel of Fortune, Sagittarius, I think with Jupiter, with the energy shaping the way that they are, you are being reconnected, where you can sort of connect the dots in hindsight and see where you need to go going forward. The 4 of Swords and the Queen of Cups, you need to make sure that you are resting. Okay, the full moon in Pisces is emotionally charged for most people. It's very intuitive, but for you, Sagittarius, it's really saying that around this time you need to take better care of yourself, and you may feel in Virgo season that you are pulled in many different directions, and that is why in astrology the 10th house, which is your career and your public image, is opposite your private image. You may want to keep a few things private this month, and that's okay. You may not feel like wearing your heart on your sleeve. You may not feel like telling everybody your news, telling everybody your business, and you may find it harder, to communicate. With Mercury making a square to your ruler this month, it may provoke a few tensions in terms of communication, but that's okay. With the Page of Cups being at the end of the reading, it means that sentimentality and understanding will prevail. So, if you're looking for signs in this reading, that would be the water signs. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces are showing up. Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, Virgo, Pisces. The strongest signs and elements coming up here are definitely those signs and the water element. Okay, so I'm thinking that full moon in Pisces is going to be quite interesting. With the Hermit and the Moon, I feel that you are in your moment of privacy, in your moment of reflection, in your moment of consideration. You are going to discover that you're still healing from something. You're still going through a process, and I think you're discovering, Sagittarius, in some way, shape or form, that this kind of process that you're going through internally is to heal you, but also to get you in touch with your creativity and your childlike wonder. It's been a heavy year, and there's been a lot of the outer planets in the earth signs, which has got you focusing on your practicality, your sensibility, all the different things that make up earth energy. But you, my dear, are needing to get creative, to embrace the feeling of excitement, to embrace the feeling of open-heartedness, to open your heart to people, to experiences. And one of the things that came up for you in your oracle cards was the reparenting yourself card. I think that full moon in Pisces could potentially bring up some wounds for you. And with the May of Cards, cycles and rhythms, you have to embrace the emotions that are coming up, because a lot of the time when we subdue our emotions, when we put them to the bottom of our to-do list, as it were, because life's busy, we don't necessarily work through them. And around this full moon in Pisces, you're really being asked, Sagittarius, to work through them. And with the Community card, you are actually going into a period, especially towards the end of the month with Libra season, where you're going to connect with other people beautifully. You are going to receive a lot of support from like-minded people. It's such a beautiful card with such beautiful ladies in it, and apples and fruit and excitement. And for some of you, this could represent a very exciting gathering that you're going to. I feel that the Page of Cups and the Queen of Cups as well, towards the end of the month into Libra season, which is your sector of community, actually. 11th house of friendships. You are going to find that you're connecting with people a lot better. But Virgo season, to me, Sagittarius, looks like you're feeling a little bit lonely at times, even if you are surrounded by people. But it's only to heal. It is only a moment to heal. Full moons in the 4th house can feel very emotional, for most people. And for you, in particular, because your 4th house is Pisces, you are going to really be feeling those emotions. And then with the new moon in Virgo, you're really going to want to go for gold. The woman holding a coin is telling me that in Virgo season and with the new moon, Sagittarius, you're going to have a lot of opportunities. And with the hummingbird and the lizard card, the hummingbird always makes me think of opening your heart and being receptive, and knowing that you're supplied as well, because the hummingbird knows exactly where to go for supplies. It knows where to go to be rejuvenated. It knows where to go to heal, to replenish, those type of things. So it's finding practices that really work for you to feel better, because there's beautiful things coming, especially in terms of your relationships. With the lizard card, I feel that some of you have felt a bit deprived lately, a little bit like you've been going through the desert. To use a metaphor, you feel like everything's been kind of dry, but what's beautiful is that coming up here with the Queen of Cups, the Page of Cups, is there's beautiful connections coming in. With the 3 of Pentacles and the 5 of Swords and the 4 of Wands underneath, I feel that there is healing to be done from past relationships where you've maybe been stabbed in the back, and maybe even in family disappointments. I feel like, you just felt like there were people getting into your circles or your family that weren't right. They weren't nice people. They were users. They were nasty, you know, things like that. I feel like you're healing from some of these energies, or people around you are. But what's beautiful, Sagittarius, is that coming up for you is a lot of love, a lot of loving connections, a lot of community, and a lot of emotional acceptance. For some of you, you've been dealing with people that didn't accept your emotions, and now you're starting to find people that give you that space. It's really beautiful. So we're going to get into the extended. It's going to go into the different star signs you could be dealing with, whether you're dealing with a Pisces or a Virgo or whatever it is, and a little bit deeper into the tarot overall. So we'll see what we get there, Sagittarius, and I will see you soon. Bye.